If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It is Saturday, March 29th, Sunday, March 30th, for those of you across the pond and beyond. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, and thanks so much for joining me tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. If you're listening live right now, you may be listening to us on KPNL Radio, which you can find at KPNL Radio at kpnl-db.com. You can also find us live right now on YouTube under We Are Paradox Media and Twitch under We Are Paradox Media 101. Still not on Facebook again, but we will be eventually. So tonight we have Trippy TikToks for the first hour, and then we're going to do the Paranormal Forum for the second hour, and we're going to have Miss Mea Savage on for that. So that's going to be epic. She doesn't get off till 8, so I figured I'd start a little late just to compensate for that. Plus, I just felt like starting late. But yeah, if you want to listen in your free time, whether you're working it, or working out, feel free to find us wherever you listen to your podcasts, and you should be able to find us there. Unless it's Facebook. Unless I share it afterwards, like from YouTube or something, and then it'll be there. But otherwise, we're still grounded. All right, so let's get on over to our Trippy TikToks. This should be fun. So, previously I've been going Trippy TikToks through people that I follow or pages that I follow. But tonight we're doing it by my For Me list. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's pretty interesting. The very first thing I saw seemed pretty interesting, but at the same time, is it AI? Like, it's so hard to tell anymore. Is that AI? Is that real? Like, what's happening? So, decipher it for yourself. See what you think. All right. Trippy TikToks. Let me make sure the sound is coming through. Yep, that's coming through. All right, we're going to go ahead and press play on this. So this is supposedly the interdimensional portal visitor caught on camera near Ohio, 3/26/25. So this was a few days ago. Yeah, this seems very AI to me. Because when like it went past her, like wouldn't she move to compensate for that?
Elected president in 1860. John Kennedy was elected president 1960. The names Lincoln and Kennedy both contain 7 letters. Both presidents were particularly concerned with civil rights. Both of the president's wives lost children while living in the White House. Both presidents were shot on a Friday in the head. President Lincoln's secretary was named Miss Kennedy. Kennedy's secretary was named Miss Lincoln. Both were assassinated by Southerners. Both were succeeded by Southerners. Andrew Johnson, who succeeded Lincoln, was born in 1808. Lyndon Johnson, who succeeded Kennedy, was born in 1908. John Wilkes Booth, who assassinated Lincoln, was born in 1839. Lee Harvey Oswald, who assassinated Kennedy, in 1939. Both assassins were known by 3 names: John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald. Both names are comprised of 15 letters. President Lincoln was shot in a theater named Ford. Kennedy was shot in a car named Lincoln, made by Ford. John Wilkes Booth ran to a theater and was caught in a warehouse. Oswald ran from a warehouse and was caught in a theater. Booth and Oswald were both assassinated before they could go to trial. And a week before Lincoln was shot, he was in Monroe, Maryland. A week before Kennedy was shot, he was with Marilyn Monroe.
You don't need a HELOC to get money out of your home.
Dude, the Black Pearl?
Oh,
Yes.
I don't know anything about it.
The whole reason that Jack Sparrow's ship was black. There's this whole scene where they give that backstory. Apparently, Jack Sparrow worked for the East India Trading Company. The Black Pearl was given to him under contract from Beckett to be running goods from these places. Well, he goes on one of these assignments to pick up cargo. He gets there and it's slaves. He frees them all. Beckett catches up and lights the ship on fire. It burns down and sinks. And the deleted scene, Jack Sparrow's line, he said, people aren't cargo. It's like this epic backstory.
That's the coolest thing ever.
They burnt the Black Pearl, and then he made a deal with Davy Jones
to bring it back.
And
that's
why it's
so
the Black Pearl, because it was burnt.
And that's why also people are terrified when they see the Black Pearl, because it shouldn't exist.
It shouldn't be there.
That's awesome.
Why would you delete that?
Like, that's the best.
Yes, this makes this way cooler.
If that was established in the first movie, or even that was the twist at the end,
it answers so much too. Like, why is this pirate this insanely moral person? Well, he was a cargo ship.
Yeah,
and
he always chooses the better moral thing to do.
The start of his depravity was his commitment to morality.
Dude, that makes the character even better.
So
sick.
better.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
That's so rad.
Yeah.
And he has tattoos.
Not
for me.
Dude,
I'm guessing a lot of you guys have never made great chili just because.
In a month, everyone will use ChatGPT 4.5. Master it now to get ahead of others. Disappear for 1 month to become the most dangerous person in the room. First, stop scrolling. Second, take a 1-minute quiz. Third, spend 15 minutes a day learning new skills. And the last, become a master of AI tools. In 1 week, you'll feel unstoppable. In 2 weeks, you'll have your strategy. In 4 weeks, you'll wonder why you didn't start sooner. You in? Try now. In a month, everyone will use ChatGPT.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh. With the paintball
Let me
gun?
speed it up.
No way. It's just a smiley face. You go, boy.
Oh, you guys are going to love this. Underneath this tarp is thousands of pounds of aluminum and steel, a mile of high-pressure air hose, hundreds of pounds of compressed air, and 1,100 specifically addressed paintballs in 1,100 barrels. Ladies and gentlemen,
Leonardo 2.0.
What is this?
When we hit this trigger on this thing, 2,100 gallons, of air goes through these accumulators, out these valves, into all 1,100 of these tubes, which are all exactly the same length, into these tubes in which the bottom of is a paintball. Each of those paintballs will fly across 7 feet of space and in 80 milliseconds reach its target. Are you guys ready?
Let's go.
I'm a little hard of hearing. Are you guys ready? That's what I thought. The audience is ready. The crew's ready. On your mark.
10,
9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Hmm? Oh, they went back to the beginning. We didn't even get to see that one.
I don't know. You started it. You actually started it. You started it. We were sitting here minding our own business.
You might think you know what kind of video this is going to be. Not really. This one's weird. This one has a lot of twists and turns. Just bear with me for a moment. Cypress, Orange County, California, where this is. A couple is there, and they go to a Panera Bread, and then they sit outside because it's a nice day, and then this guy comes and sits down at the table across from them. As he's sitting, the man, the husband of the couple, goes, "Hey, hi, how you doing?" This guy doesn't respond. No big deal. They go back to eating their food. Until this guy looks over and says, "What the fuck are you looking at?" And he's like, "What are you talking about? I'm not looking at anything. I'm just eating my food." And then he says, "What are you looking at, N-word?"
Ooh.
And that prompted the woman to start recording and capture all of this with him, and I think it's his mother, and it...
What is your problem? I don't know. You started it. You actually started it. You started it. We were sitting here minding our own business, looking around.
That's why I moved out of this state.
That's cute.
I know a term for you, buddy. I ain't gonna say it because I ain't like that.
Anyway, you're fucking.
But, unfortunately, if I were in that situation, I might say it, but I don't know. I try my hardest not to. It's immoral.
Exactly.
His poor mother.
Chino, put up your ass. Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
Oh my god.
Take that crock up your ass. I said hi and scared.
You didn't say hi. You did not say hi.
I said hi.
Is his hand shaking? He's totally like whacked or cracked out.
That's the biggest one right here.
I mean, what he said was bad. I did not anticipate her joining in, though. Didn't see that coming. I thought she was going to sit there and sip her coffee, but no. Jumped right in there with him. The video had terrible audio, and it needed a lot of editing, and obviously words needed to be censored and all that kind of stuff. On top of that, there wasn't like a massive sense of urgency because the people who recorded this are white. So, like, even though he's saying horrible things, it's not hate crime because they're white and he's using the N-word. He's just awful. In the meantime, the whole world's on fire, and I'm doing videos about that. So I hadn't like posted about this quite yet. And then I heard back from the woman who recorded the video, and she's like, hey, I got a call from a homicide detective.
A grieving widow and family searching for answers in Cerritos today after her husband was murdered, again in broad daylight while out on a walk. His name was Cuauhtemoc Garcia. To friends and family, he was simply Temo, a husband, father, brother, a successful businessman. Sunday night family dinners, a must. Those dinners and his love of good food, says his family, inspiring Temo to work out every day. And that's what the 66-year-old was doing on February 25th at 12:30 in the afternoon on the bike path here at Don Canabi Park, where he was a regular. Not far behind him, police say, this couple followed. The female detectives observed seemed tense, clutching her purse and wearing a face mask. At times, running, they eventually catch up to Temo, say detectives, but exactly what happened next is a murder mystery. The couple, now persons of interest because they were last seen running from where the sound of gunshots shattered the quiet and peace of the park and leaving Temo dead on the bike path.
You see that, right? I mean, the detective saw it. That's what he contacted.
It's them.
Do you know who they are? Have you found out who they are yet? Because we believe they are these persons of interest in this homicide, and we would like to talk to them. She's like, no, I haven't identified him yet. So she let me know, and I'm like, holy crap. I can do a video and do the whole who is this, and we can find them. Let me get that out this week, because this was over the weekend. However, in the meantime, she sent that video to police, and I believe between that video giving them a better look and probably some tips from people, I think they were able to figure out who they were. And then they tried to stop a car that they believed was them, and the car fled. And there was a pursuit, and then they did a pit maneuver, spun the car out, it wrecked, and then the driver got out and started fighting with police, had to be tased, and oh, look, it's the dude from Panera Bread who likes the N-word. He was arrested for trying to physically assault the officers who were trying to arrest him. And the post I saw about it said there was also a female passenger with him who identified herself not as his mother, but as his sister. Now, unfortunately, none of that will bring back 66-year-old Cuauhtemoc Garcia, a father, a husband, a business owner, who was killed for no good reason. It won't bring him back, but it might bring his family some sense of justice. And this is what I want to point out. That is happening, at least in part, because this couple was just having lunch and had an encounter with some weird people and recorded it because they weren't comfortable. They were doing it for their own safety. And then they put it online because they're like, people shouldn't be allowed to behave like this. They put it out there. And then because they did, this whole separate incident, detectives saw that and were like, hey, this is our people, and that helped lead to them being arrested and these people here possibly seeing justice. The internet is one giant small town. If you experience something weird, don't be afraid to record it. Don't be afraid to post it. You may be helping a lot of people outside of even yourself.
What
the fuck is this?
What is this? What is it? What is it? What is it? What are we looking at? What the crap?
Rotate 360 degrees. Go to Map Street View.
What?
What's this?
Those lasers. Are those frickin' laser beams?
Do you know what kind of place this is?
AI Star Wars.
What the fuck is this?
Hey friends, let's talk about the missing 13th month. Have you ever wondered why our calendar system makes no freaking sense at all? You have September, sept meaning 7, but it's the 9th month. You have October, octagon 8, but it's the 10th month. And you have November meaning 9, it's the 11th month. And you have December, decagon, decade.
Would I understand
10,
the Romans messed it up? I don't know.
That makes me think that there's a missing month in here. So let's dig even deeper. If you take 365 and divide it by 28, you get 13. We could have 13 months with 28 days. You could begin a month on a Monday and end on a Sunday. It makes perfect sense. It's harmonious and balanced. But what happened to the 13th month? Where did it go? And where would New Year's be in this situation? Well, let's analyze it a little bit more. Let's think about the spring equinox. That's next week, the end of March. And let's look at April 1st as possibly being the New Year's Day. Okay, is there any historical context suggesting that April 1st is New Year's Day? Oh my God, yes there is. Actually, a crap ton. So way back in the day, when we had the Julian calendar system, they used to celebrate April 1st as New Year's Day. And then the Pope came in and decided to create the Gregorian system. And to implement it and to force people onto this new system that made no freaking sense at all, whenever people would celebrate April 1st as New Year's Day, they would call them fools. You're a fool for believing that, conspiracy theorists. So, what happened next? April Fool's Day. Yes, April 1st is now considered April Fool's Day. That comes from way back in the day when they would literally shame people into believing the old system that made sense into tricking them and forcing them and shaming them into using this new system that makes no sense at all. Okay, so why? Why did they omit the 13th month? Why did they mess up and scramble our entire system? Why do we still call the months names that specifically mean a number, but then assign it to a different number? It doesn't make any sense. Some people think it's because they're just trying to screw with us, get us out of, harmony and balance with nature, make us all, wacky and everything, right? And there's probably some truth to that. But I think it's even weirder. I think that, especially in the Western world, we have a fear of the number 13. So if back in the Atlantean days,
well, I heard it's actually lucky
that we used a 13-month system with 28 days, and it was very balanced and harmonious. Well, now we are scared of the number 13 for various reasons. I won't get into them. But it's even this is crazy, but this is true. So many buildings now skip the 13th floor. I mean, there's millions of buildings around the world that you go in the elevator and it goes from 12 to 14. The 13th floor exists.
Superstitious much?
Civil engineers and scientists created these buildings and skipped the 13th floor out of fear and superstition. That's wild. So why would they not omit the 13th month? I think that's what happened. I think that April 1st is New Year's Day, March 30th is New Year's Eve. That's coming up in a couple weeks. So get your New Year's resolutions ready, my friends, because this is the beginning of the new year. It's coming up in a couple weeks. April 1st. You're not a fool if you believe that. Let me know what you think. Have a beautiful day.
If you suffer from neuropathy pain,
try also to avoid waste. Stop that tap from dripping. You can save gallons of good water. Don't waste gas by leaving the kettle boiling. Don't waste food. There is enough for all, but there's not enough to waste. Don't leave lights burning. It's a waste of Britain's power. Don't cut the string. Untie the knot, roll it up carefully, and don't throw it away. Cinders from a raked-out boiler will help to light the fire again. Look after your car. It'll use less petrol if it's tuned up properly. Don't forget the rear light on your bicycle. There's enough trouble without committing suicide. Don't forget your gas mask, and see that your family don't forget. With it, you could be useful. Without it, you'd be a nuisance. Don't give away little bits of information just because you happen to know something that isn't common knowledge. They may sound harmless, but they may be useful to the enemy if overheard by the wrong people. It's producing. Try also to avoid waste. Stop that tap from dripping. You can save gallons of good water. Don't waste gas by leaving the kettle boiling.
Just repeating?
Don't waste food. There is enough.
There's something else I'd like to say to our American friends. We've always loved you as our neighbors and friends. There is no country with whom we'd rather share a border. The longest undefended border in the world. We know America is the biggest economic and military superpower the world has ever known. And we've been a good neighbor. We fought on the same side of the same wars. We paid with Canadian lives and treasure to fight for America, avenging the 9/11 attacks. You have your grievance with us, we have ours with you. But I would ask you this question: which other country would you rather have as your neighbor? And if Canada is not your friend, who is? See, the problem is at times we might be too polite, soft-spoken, and humble for our own good. We are slow to anger and quick to forgive, but never confuse our kindness with weakness.
Yeah, I don't think that every American agrees with their leader and their leaders do.
We love our country and our flag. We are a strong people with a proud history as a warrior nation whose soldiers have proven fierce enough to crush the fascists, the communists, and Al-Qaeda, yet humble enough to never once brag about their heroism. We are mild-mannered and made of steel. So let me be clear. We will never be the 51st state. We will bear any burden and pay any price to protect the sovereignty and independence of our country. As Winston Churchill said, though, you can always count on the Americans to do the right thing after exhausting all other possibilities.
What's up, baby? Is it recording? Oh, so I don't film these very often, so check this out, though. I just met these guys on the pier. So they are not on vacation. They just hang out on here all the time because they do this trick on their phone where they don't have to work anymore. Show me that thing you just showed me.
Here's the phone trick.
Here's the phone trick. So you got 731 in your deposit. Show me the one that you had.
Red. Yeah.
Hey friends, so when I was at the Monroe Institute, we learned a technique called patterning. Patterning is their version of manifestation. It's incredibly effective and powerful. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it and how you can use it to live the life of your dreams. So patterning is based off the concept that our thoughts create our reality, okay? So we are like essentially rendering agents. So the physical body, the physical brain takes information and then renders it into this, kind of 3D, physical reality here. We're like a VR headset. So where does that information come from? Okay, well, therein lies the key to manifestation, because manifestation doesn't happen here, it happens there. Okay, so at the Monroe Institute, we use binaural beats, these hemi-sync specific tones. You get into a altered state of consciousness. When you do that, you can take your awareness, your conscious awareness that's usually focused in our physical waking life, and you can transcend this and you can place that awareness, your conscious awareness, somewhere else. In this case, we go up into the astral realm, and you're in this place that's essentially like a blank canvas, right? It's a blank canvas of unlimited potential. It's a place where you can just create. And when you get there, and anyone can do this, you can do this just in a meditative state, right? You can do this just daydreaming, okay? So when you get into this state, then you can use your imagination to create something. It can be whatever you want. People think if you manifest, it has to be like a thing, like a car or a house. It can be a feeling. It can be health. It can be an emotion. It can be a relationship or an experience. But whatever. Say you just want to manifest a car. Okay, so you're in this space and you're
need a car
using
so
your
I can
imagination to
get my
imagine
job
a car.
back.
And you imagine it with such rich detail.
Keep doing
and
the show.
crystal clear intention. You know exactly what the car is. You know what it looks like, smells like, everything. You're spinning it around. You're modeling it. You're seeing it. I call it 5D print. You're like 3D printing an object, but you're doing it in the fifth dimension, outside of space and time. And you basically like create it in such rich detail that it's alive. It's real, okay? It exists. And you know inside that thing exists. It's mine. It's just a matter of time, okay? When you do this with enough intensity, you're basically telling the universe that this thing is real, that this is a done deal. And when you're done with that, you have to release all that data into the universe. I use a method based on like the dandelions. We used to call them wishies, you know, like that. You make a wish and blow the thing and all the little whatever go everywhere. I do that in my course, 5D Differential Reality. When you do that, you're releasing this data, and those little wishy things fly everywhere. They cover and saturate the whole universe, and they take that data to everywhere it needs to go, right? Completely saturate the universe with that data. So no matter where the data is supposed to go, it goes there, okay? And then whenever you come back out to this, you know, physical existence, that data has essentially been downloaded, right, into our matrix, into our physical reality, okay? And now it doesn't just immediately drop out of the sky. It has to integrate into our world as to not make ripples. So you have to just kind of be patient, stay the course, and just know that you did it, you manifested it, it's a done deal, it's a part of our reality, but you have to kind of go down the timeline until you eventually hit it, right? The universe will put it at the right point to where it's not going to make humongous waves. You just have to trust that you will get to your manifestation at the proper time. So don't try to rush it and don't get discouraged if it takes a little while. The universe knows what's best when it comes to that stuff. But essentially, that's what patterning is manifestation based on the belief that our thoughts create a reality. And you just have to go to this space where you can use your imagination to create whatever it is you want to create, right? And you do it with such emotion and intensity and clear intention. And then when you do that, you release it to the universe. And then essentially that data has been downloaded into the program, you know, and then at a certain point in time, you will get your manifestation, okay? That is a extremely brief overview of what patterning is. And I take that and I basically package it up, including a bunch of my own little tips and tricks and things that I've learned over the years, and put it into a course that I call 5D Differential Reality.
Emphasize. We do not have full confirmation yet on where these missiles are headed, how many there are, or the extent of the threat. We are trying to...
I gotta blow this up. When the crack is this? Okay, so you're saying there's no date.
Reach officials in Washington for any kind of response, but right now there is no official statement from the White House. The previously scheduled press briefing has been canceled, and our reporters stationed outside the White House have been moved further back. We are also seeing reports of increased military activity across the country.
What? Okay, so I'm wondering, could this be attributed or connected to the military or the White House or whoever the crack did it sharing military info that was talking about war? I don't know, but this is pretty creepy. Emergency alert system interrupts.
Country fighter jets emphasize. We do not have full confirmation yet on where these missiles are headed, how many there are, or the extent of the threat. We are trying to reach officials in Washington for any kind of response, but right now there is no official statement from the White House. The previously scheduled press briefing has been canceled, and our reporters stationed outside the White House have been moved further back. We are also seeing reports of increased military activity across the country. Fighter jets emphasize. We do not have full confirmation yet.
This is the quickest way to...
You recently visited the United States and reinvigorated your friendship with Donald Trump. What do you like about Donald Trump as a friend, as a leader?
I'd like to share with you an event that stands out in my memory. Perhaps from that, you'll get a better understanding of the point I'm trying to convey. For example, we had an event in Houston. Howdy Modi. Both President Trump and I were there, and the entire stadium was completely packed. A massive crowd at an event in the U.S. is a huge moment. While packed stadiums are common in sports, this was extraordinary for a political rally. The Indian diaspora had gathered in large numbers. Both of us delivered speeches, and he sat down below listening to me speak. Now that's his humility. The President of the United States sitting in the audience while I spoke from the stage. That was a remarkable gesture on his part. After finishing my speech, I stepped down. And as we all know, security in the US is extremely strict and thorough. The level of scrutiny there is on a completely different level. I went over to thank him and casually said, "If you don't mind, why don't we take a lap around the stadium? There are so many people here. Let's walk, wave, and greet them." In American life, it's almost impossible for the president to walk into a crowd of thousands. But without even a moment's hesitation, he agreed and started walking with me. His entire security detail was thrown off guard. But for me, that moment was truly touching. It showed me that this man had courage. He makes his own decisions, but also he trusted me and my lead in that moment enough to have walked with me into the crowd. It was that sense of mutual trust, a strong bond between us, that I truly witnessed on that day. And the way I saw President Trump that day, walking into a crowd of thousands without even asking security, was truly amazing. And if you watch the video now, you'll be amazed. When he was shot during the recent campaign, I saw the same resilient and determined President Trump, the one who walked hand in hand with me in that stadium. Even after being shot, he remained unwaveringly dedicated to America. His life was for his nation. His reflection showed his America First spirit, just as I believe in nation first. I stand for India first. And that's why we connect so well. These are the things that truly resonate. And I believe that across the world, politicians are covered so much by the media that people mostly perceive each other through its lens. People rarely get the chance to truly meet or personally know one another. And perhaps third-party intervention is the real cause of tensions. When I visited him in the White House for the first time, there was already a lot written about President Trump in the media. At that time, he was still new to office, and the world had a rather different perception of him. Even I had been briefed in many different ways before meeting him. But to my surprise, the very moment I stepped into the White House, he broke all formal protocols right away. And then he personally took me on a tour of the White House. As he showed me around, I noticed something striking. He wasn't holding any notes or cue cards, nor was anyone accompanying him to assist. He pointed things out himself. "This is where Abraham Lincoln lived," he said. He even explained why the courtroom was designed so long. He would point at the table and tell me which president signed here and on what date. I found that incredibly impressive. It showed how much he honored the presidency and how respectful and deeply connected he was to America's history. I could feel that. And he spoke to me freely, discussing many things openly. That was my experience from our first meeting. Later, when his first term ended and President Biden won, 4 years passed. But during that time, whenever someone we both knew met him, and this must have happened dozens of times, he would say, "Modi is my friend, convey my regards." That kind of gesture is rare. Even though we didn't meet physically for years, our direct and indirect communication, our closeness, and the trust between us remained unshaken.
He said,
"It is not pyramid. It's pyramid. Pyra means fire. Mid means middle, which is fire in the middle. Pyramids were not built on the surface just that. It is mainly constructed as anchors or even as stakes, known as what we call the containment obelisk. The Pyramid of Giza is a half ratio of the entire Earth. The location where this pyramid's built is the same coordinates of the speed of light. It's like a highly conscious place to visit. The Holy Quran mentioned and written this, and that's 1,400 years ago, that just now been discovered. Now, when we look at this verse in the Quran, the pharaohs is referred to as the honor of the Autad, or the king of stakes. The word Autad have different meanings, like stakes, tent pegs, or even spikes. These are all in the ground or in the wall. Autad also described as mountains, just like this. Now when we enter the Great Pyramid, especially through the main entrance, a massive tunnel that what they call the Grand Gallery. The square base of the pyramid is a scaled-down measure of our Earth's circumference. In geometry, if you draw a circle inside the measurements of the pyramid, it will give us the length of a tropical year, which is the diameter of 365,242, and that is inside the pyramid's elevation. That echoes Earth's tropical year of also 365,242 days. The pyramid is a multifunctional stone like CPU, or whatever you may call it, or even a power generator. They just found an amazing discovery beneath the Pyramid of Giza. A massive pillars, not even an ordinary stone columns, like a granite limestone with metallic in it. The pillars itself forms a perfect energy grid that aligns exactly with the Orion's belt. Remember, Autad means also a tent pegs. So looking like tent plus pegs look like this. It could be an ancient power source that designed to send energy into cosmos, or even might be used for communications, or beings who built this type of structures might even
power the city. Like the city around the pyramids way back was huge, like bigger than it is even today. And they used to have power. They had, man, it was so tropical and everything. It was so beautiful. Now it's just deadness, basically. Yes, there is some sort of plantage and stuff there, but this to me is intriguing, intense, mind-blowing. Like when they came out with that, I'm like, I've been saying this forever. Where's your evidence? Just the different carvings and stuff with the light bulbs, and how did they do that in the first place? How were the cities powered? I don't know, but yeah, now that they did this underground sonar sort of thing, wow, so much has been revealed. We've gone through so many cycles of intelligence where I believe back in those days could be along the lines of these days, could be actually more advanced. There's cycles we've gone through several times. And the mud flood and all kinds of other stuff.
even knew how to harness the Earth's energy, or even having an understanding of the stars, or maybe having a potential of converting celestial energy into what we call usable power. Because the pyramid's base itself, it is made of conductive granite blocks that is filled with quartz crystals. And we all know that quartz crystals has piezoelectric properties, so it is even able to generate charge, especially when under pressure. Like the Nile water in Egypt, it could be a hydroelectric dam that generated an electromagnetic energy. So now it's water, quartz, and granite. And these three, with the pyramid coil conductors, are able to produce free electricity of the entire world. So why are we still paying for it? Removing even pyramid's capstones, the ones collecting and directing energy produced.
Yeah, this is the grids they had there back in the day for us, before the World's Fair and stuff, like the beauty of the buildings. Free energy, you know, those little spires, little pointy things at the tops of buildings. Those were to gather energy. We did have free energy until we no longer did. Until the government got savvy on it. It was like, nope, we're going to have to start charging for this stuff. Why?
Were known as the transmitters, plain and simple, just for us to be a slave population. They use LiDAR and discovered that there are structures underneath the pyramid, deep into the earth like stakes or an anchor, with coils and massive pillars. And that is 8 massive pillars. And to be exact, it is a cylindrical wells, over 642 or 48 meters down. And the Holy Quran describe it as a city that is unmatched among nations, unparalleled in power, construction, the structure, and the architecture. And I don't think we could do what other
And yes, I know there's like 3 there in Giza. The biggest pyramid that has ever existed so far as we know is in China. So, I mean, there's pyramids everywhere. They're being discovered all the time.
Past civilizations did. The precision, the symmetry of the statues are unparalleled and unmatched, with even temples that's intricate, like pa pa pa. Mind-blowing. Or, this might be used to make harmonic balance of what? Of energy. It is like a massive advanced system, because truth never hide. What do you think about this? Leave your comments below. Assalamu alaikum.
This is the only proof we have of time travel, and it's absolutely terrifying. In 1923, archaeologists uncovered a sealed tomb in Egypt. Inside, they found something that defied logic. A photograph dated 1987. It showed a man in modern clothing standing in front of the tomb, holding a camera. The man was identified as Elon Huck, a scientist who vanished in 1987 while working on a top-secret government project called Kronos. The project's goal? To unlock time travel. But it was shut down after Huck disappeared without a trace. The photograph had a chilling message scrawled on the back. I tried to stop it, but the loop is inevitable. Years later, in 1980, another photograph surfaced. This one showed Elon Huck, now decades older, standing in front of the same tomb. The date on the photo? 2025. Experts were stunned. How could a man exist in 3 different timelines? And what did he mean by the loop is inevitable? The final clue was found in Huck's 1987 lab notes. He wrote, "Time isn't linear, it's a loop, and I'm trapped in it." But here's the twist. In 2023, a team of researchers decided to open the tomb again. Inside, they found a camera, the same one from the photographs. When they developed the film, it showed a picture of them, standing in the tomb, dated 2045. This is the only proof we have of time travel, and it's...
So I just found the most insane editing hack on Photoshop, and it's kind of hard to explain.
This one's probably going to get me banned, so buckle up. What kind of piece of shit do you have to want to be an ICE agent? These people are removing legit citizens, people with paperwork, and fucking taking their...
These are supposed to be criminals, gang members, etc. People that aren't here supporting and helping to propel our way of life. They're getting rid of everybody. It's so sad. Families are being torn apart.
Their phones and fucking just carting them off to who the fuck knows where, lying about where the fuck they're gonna be, and keeping them away from their fucking families. Why? Because their fucking boss told them to? Do any of you motherfuckers have a single fucking independent thought in your head? Any shred of fucking morality inside you anywhere? Or do you just fucking hate people that don't fucking look like you so much that you have to fucking do this and break up fucking families just to make your fucking little dick fucking have an ass feel better? What the fuck is wrong with you? So many fucking problems in this world right now. They just fired all the fucking top generals so fucking dipshit that fucking President fucking Saggy Pants can have all these fucking loyalists on his side so they don't come try to drag his ass out of the fucking White House for breaking every fucking constitutional fucking law that has been in place for almost 250 fucking years. When does it fucking stop? When do we hit the fucking streets? You know what? I don't even know what that even...
And yes, I agree, like, we're broken. Our government's broken. Our system is broken. So many things are broken. Yes, we need to, clean the swamp out and start anew, but this is not the way to do it. This is not the way to do it.
Fucking means, dude. What do we fucking do? Where do we I don't know. I'm just as fucking clueless as you guys. I feel like I need to do some shit, but I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm just fucking tired, man.
And they're going to colleges?
I'm tired of this shit. How far are we gonna let them push us? What's it going to take?
I believe it's I think it's ants. Could be a bug's life, but I'm pretty sure it's ants. But it could be a bug's life. Anyways, if we bond together, if we work together, we're more powerful than they who try to control us. We can beat the system. We can fight the system. We can actually get what we want out of it. But politics, different things like that. I know, like, since I've been born, like, what I've seen is you should never talk about religion or politics with people, but at least people were able to have discussions. These days, you can't even have a post. Like, I posted a Tesla in a fire lane, and it was funny. Not because I hate Tesla or Elon Musk or I'm going for Democrat or Republican or anything like that, because I'm not a part of any of those things. But it was funny to me because, people are like, oh, well, Democrats, et cetera, are burning these things down. No, these things are burning themselves down. Yes, there was that one guy in the beginning that pulled up in front of the hotel and he had all the fireworks and shit in there, and that happened. But no, they are burning themselves down. There are so many spots along the highway where you see burnt ass spots, like, that are divoted and everything. Like, it's insane. What is happening? Why is it happening? I don't know. But they're putting these things in between us. They're keeping us separated. They're keeping us from working together. And it's just redonkulous. If we work together, if we get over our freaking egos, our religions, our politics, all that shit, and just look at being human, being one, working together, we can go pretty far. We let them mindfuck us.
And here I am just sitting in my fucking car, living my life as usual, just like everybody else. Yeah, I'll go to an activist meeting, I'll show up at a fucking protest, but, what are we really doing? I'm not bitching anybody out. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm asking, like, what do we fucking do? Where do we go from here? Calling people doesn't help. Fucking yelling outside the Capitol building doesn't help. They're just doing whatever the fuck they want. And I don't know what to do. I don't know if you guys do either. Just feeling fucking hopeless right now, man. I've always been the kind of person who I bit off more than I could chew, and I was pretty confident I could figure out how to chew that shit eventually. This is the first time in a very, very long time where I don't know where to turn. This one's probably going to get me banned, so buckle up.
How to clear out stuck poop.
No. Excuse me? What the hell? Whatever, dude.
Americans and other citizens living in the US, please pay attention. I'm European. I'm from Portugal. I'm a lawyer and I've studied law. I've studied international law and the events that created several international laws. So those events, how you can imagine, they are wars, invasions, genocides. You need to pay attention and act immediately.
Pronto.
If you are an immigrant, even if you are legal.
And that's the funny thing. Aren't most of us freaking immigrants? Give me a freaking break.
Legal immigrant, you need to leave immediately because you are going to be the next. If you are trans, I guess you already understand what is happening. You need to leave immediately. Also, if you are gay, you need to leave immediately. People of any color besides white are going to be in danger.
Ridiculous, man.
So,
not what she's saying, but what's happening.
Have the ability to leave, do it. Especially if you have children, leave. The others need to stay and need to protest, to resist. This is going to be very ugly.
It already is.
And I really
it's going to get
would
worse.
like this video, this message, will go to cross the Atlantic and to you guys. Please share as many, many times you can. I'm not going to go on details. I'm just saying, if you are one of these people, leave immediately. Immediately. Don't think twice. Okay? We are very concerned. Very, very, very concerned. We are watching with horror. We've saw this happen before here. And your borders probably will close in 1 or 2 months.
Not only that, but have you seen like the ban in travel? It's obnoxious. Like, it's huge. Like, basically anywhere you'd like to travel or travel from is going to be blocked or is blocked already.
And prisons are being built, and nobody will be safe. But white people, in particularly, you need to protest right now. Oh, I'm going to lose my job. If every single one of you go to the streets, you are not going to lose your job.
I already lost my job because I lost my car.
You need to understand that you were educated with individualism, but you really need to act like a community right now. You really need to change that mind, and you really need to act as a community right now. And don't be afraid, oh, if I'm going to protest, they do this, or they will do worst. Will do worst. Please, take this video very serious. We know what is going to happen. We see it when trans people cannot have a passport issued right now. This is so concerning. So concerning.
Yeah.
If they are refusing to issue passports, please get a lawyer and never ever go there alone. Hire a lawyer. It's very important that every single one of you, especially these people that I mentioned, if you are not able to get a passport to leave the country, please hire a lawyer. Don't try to do it by yourself. It will be dangerous, okay? So, I'm not going to say more right now, but we are watching, and we are here to support you and open our arms if it's necessary.
And it's not just happening here, like even in the UK, people are getting arrested for sharing their thoughts. It's not even hateful or racist or anything like, oh, these people are coming from other countries and kidnapping and raping our women and children. Yeah, it's really happening. Like, when your government starts sticking up for others and not you and putting you in prison for stating your thoughts on social media, that is insane. Like, we're taking huge leaps backwards, not just here in America, but the UK and other places. What's on my radar right now is America and the UK. I'm sure it's happening other places too. Looks like not Portugal, but this is insane. Insanity. At its waste.
Good luck to all of you. Americans and
TikTok made me try to sleep.
Here now. All right, so we're going to go from there. We're going to go to our first music break. On this break, we have the lovely and talented Miss Michaela Hay, and she's going to be singing Devil You Know, Nothing But Blood, Close, Collapse, and then we have Fred Johnson III from Canyon County, California with Sugar. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
Your troubled heart bleeds like a river. It's rushing towards fields painted greener. It doesn't see the demons behind, praying you're getting close to the line, so they can get their hands on love and trade it off for silver. There's too much sky, too blue, too white. The birds on the wire are singing, but I don't know why. Why aren't the roses hanging their heads? They're standing straight up, blooming instead. Now that we're apart, there's nothing but blood in my heart. Why does that guy have a smile on his face? Why is the sun even shining today. Why are the headlines talking about love? Don't they all know what happened to us? Now that we're apart, there's nothing but blood in my heart. The moon goes up, the sun goes down, the stars light up, the world goes round. Every day, life moves on, it don't stop for anyone. The moon goes up, the sun goes down, the stars light up, the world goes round. Every day, life moves on, it don't stop for anyone. Now that we're apart, there's nothing. Now that we're apart, there's nothing but blood in my heart. Blood in my heart. Blood in my heart. Saw you for the first time in a while, in a while. You seemed so surprised. I worked out a smile, out a smile, out a smile. 'Cause I've grown and I've changed. Yeah, we went separate ways. How come we're both back here? 'Cause you pushed me away, let my life rearrange, but still we're both back here. Back here. Close to me, I want you close to me. I can see that you wanted me. Follow me, baby, just follow me. Trust Where'd you go? You're running away. I know did our love go wrong, my sugar?
Welcome back, and thanks so much for joining me tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Night in the Rockies. Tonight we have been partaking in trippy TikToks, and I was hoping to get into a forum, but Miss Mea Savage isn't here yet, so let's do some more TikToks until she gets here. Now I gotta tickle in my nose. All right. Oh no, I don't want to do this one. Let me make sure my sound is on my speaker, and it is good to go. No letterbox hack.
This would be Turner's final investigation into the Lightfoot house.
It might be a hotel night. I'm dead serious.
It was the first night of his third investigation, and he had already found something new.
That's new. That's new. I've never seen that door open, period. Ever.
Lightfoot had left clues to where he had buried all of his victims. One of these was a map that Turner had been following for most of the second day.
There is a light on in the house. There's a light on in the house. Oh my God.
It seems that the spirits of the 18 women who had been murdered in this house were still trapped there, and they wanted to be found.
So, they're obviously trying to tell me something about this bathroom and or this closet. I don't know if there's a correlation between the two, but something.
All of the activity was centered around this closet. And on the third night, everything escalated with a phone call.
I don't know about this.
This time, however, Turner would not be running. He was determined to find what these spirits were trying to tell him. Eventually, Turner would realize the knocks were coming from the closet. However, when he threw the door open and looked around, nothing had been moved. Everything was the same as it was the multiple times he had checked before. Until he looked up. What he would find there was nothing short of miraculous.
I think I see something down there.
What is it?
This would be Turner.
I don't know about this. Oh, what's it saying? Oh, it was alive. We don't want to do that.
Before the government shuts me up, this natural metformin is something I would like all type 2 sufferers to know about. It may sound crazy.
The Trump administration, almost every week, snatch people right off the streets for political speech. The latest, most chilling example happened yesterday outside Boston, when a PhD student and Fulbright scholar at Tufts University, in this country on a student visa from Turkey, totally legal, obviously, was taken off a residential street in Somerville, Massachusetts at 5:15 p.m. yesterday. Ramesa Ozturk, had just left her apartment when she's approached by a guy in a dark hoodie and hat who then grabs her hands. You can see and hear how upset and scared she is as an officer finally pulls out a badge and appears to identify himself as law enforcement. She is quickly surrounded by half a dozen, I guess, cops, all in street clothes, covering their faces with masks. They take her cell phone. They physically remove her backpack. She is then handcuffed as a bystander films and asks how anyone is supposed to know these people are police.
Is covering your faces. You want to take those masks off? Is this a kidnapping? Yeah, you don't look like it. Why are you hiding your faces? Why are you hiding your faces?
The masked police lead the terrified woman to their unmarked vehicles and drive off. Now, if all that were not chilling enough, an attorney for Ozturk released a statement earlier today saying, in part, "We are unaware of her whereabouts and have not been able to contact her. No charges have been filed against her to date that we are aware of." Last night, a district court judge ordered that the young woman not be moved out of Massachusetts without first providing advance notice. And then late this afternoon, we finally got an idea of where she is. According to the Immigrations and Customs Enforcement detainee locator, she is currently being held in the South Louisiana ICE Processing Center. That's nearly 2,000 miles from where she was snatched off the street just 27 hours ago. Today, the Department of Homeland Security said in a statement that investigations found Ozturk engaged in activities in support of Hamas. But again, she's not charged with any crime. The activities she's accused of seem to be that she co-wrote an editorial in the Tufts School newspaper that was published a year ago today, writing, quote, "We affirm the equal dignity and humanity of all people," specifically referencing Palestinians, going on to quote the author James Baldwin and challenging the university president to, quote, "acknowledge the Palestinian genocide and embrace efforts by students to evaluate diverse and sometimes contradictory ideas and opinions." The Trump administration almost every week snatch people right off the streets for political speech. The latest, most chilling example happened yesterday outside Boston when a PhD student in
We'll watch.
So is this like what's under? See, these are a lot shorter than they said they were, so I want to zoom in really quick and see what this says. Exploring newly discovered structures beneath the pyramid of Khafre, pyramid ancient. Labeled as AI generated. So this says it's AI generated. Freaking AI, man. And it looks totally different than what they were saying. Yeah, whatever.
Hey, friends. So this one's going to mess with your head a little bit. What if the Anunnaki, aka the fallen angels, are actually just humans from Earth, but ancient humans? So let's pull on this thread for a minute. Check this out. So I got some information from one of the Explorer tapes, one of the Monroe Institute channelings, about how this version of humans that we are right now is the fifth version, the fifth epoch. And I've heard this from other sources as well, that we're one of the like fourth or fifth generations of human beings, that there is these cyclical cataclysms. Jason Brashears from Archaics does a brilliant job laying out these cyclical cataclysms, these resets that go through every once in a while and just wipe out, 99% of human beings. And they go in this cyclical nature. So we know when they're coming. And I think that these secret societies track this stuff. So it would make sense that since this information is being handed down and that we do know, or at least certain, parts of humans know that this is coming, they would be making preparations. And what would these preparations look like? It would look like people trying to either go inside the earth or flee the earth. Well, what do we see right now at the upper echelons? We see like the people like Elon Musk creating the boring company, boring tunnels down inside the earth, and also trying to go to Mars with SpaceX. That's exactly what you'd see from the elites if they knew that a cyclical cataclysm was coming. So let's, assume that during the last cyclical cataclysm, like the Atlantean period, that there were some people, the elites, the people that just had means and had technology and money and everything, resources, that they could escape the cataclysm, either go inside the earth or off earth. Okay, so let's assume that some went off earth, because that seems to be our nature, is to try to explore the stars and go. So let's assume some humans got off earth and they went out somewhere in the solar system. Well, evidently there's this ninth planet called Nibiru that, comes around every few thousand years in a close elliptical orbit to Earth, and we could sort of hop onto it, for lack of better words, Well, let's imagine they did that. And these beings would then have kind of jumped from Earth before the cataclysm to another planet in our solar system. Now, the story of the Anunnaki talks about exactly that, and it matches perfectly with the story of the fallen angels, that these beings come from above down to Earth, and that they were seen as gods by the humans, right? But they're also compatible with humans. Well, how do I know they're compatible with humans? Well, they lived amongst the humans. The gods and the humans lived together for a long time. The gods actually fornicated and reproduced with the humans. It's the story of the fallen angels, the Nephilim. Well, you can't reproduce with a species unless you're compatible with that species. It's just the way nature works, okay? So we know that they had to be compatible with humans. Well, they're probably humans, or at least partially human, right? Because if they were humans from Earth, a different previous generation of humans, and they, got off of Earth before the cataclysm, and then they just came back at a later date, the story of the Anunnaki is that they came back because they needed gold to save their planet's atmosphere. Well, how would they know that Earth had so much gold? Well, maybe they're from Earth, right? So they seem to know exactly where to go and what planet had what they needed and where to go on that planet and get it. So there's a good chance that what we call the Anunnaki, or the fallen angels, are just humans from a previous epoch before the cataclysm. They're the ones that survived the cyclical cataclysm. Seems like they went to a different planet called Nibiru, and that planet comes back around every so often, and that cycle of it coming back around seems to correspond with the cataclysm. It might even be what causes the cataclysm. So anyways, I just think it's really fascinating to think about it like that, like these gods, the Greek and Roman gods, these deities that we thought were from, these aliens from space. They might just be ancient humans. They're just far more advanced because they didn't reset with everybody else. The humans on the surface of the planet reset with the cataclysm, with the Great Deluge. But these beings wouldn't have reset. So they'd be very, very advanced, intellectually, spiritually, consciously, and technologically. So advanced that we would think that they're aliens. When they come down, we would think they're either aliens or gods. But turns out they might just be humans, right? That's how they're able to reproduce with humans, is because they are humans. It's also why they have an affinity for Earth. It's also why they, came here and kind of planted their flag again. And, why they might be helping us, possibly, potentially, to escape, or at least helping some of us escape the next cyclical cataclysm, because they obviously know the deal. They've been there, done that, right? It's not their first rodeo. So they might be the ones that are kind of guiding us and helping us right now. So just a little thread I thought I'd pull on and throw your way to blow your mind on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Let me know what you think. Is that the case? Is that what's going on here? I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts. Have a beautiful day. Peace. Hey, peace. Hey, friends. So the placebo and nocebo effect have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that our thoughts affect our reality. That just by thinking, we can heal our bodies or hurt our bodies. And then I started thinking, how could that be? What is the mechanism behind that? And I had an epiphany. It's water. The water is the key. So check this out. Let's pull on this thread. There's a Dr. Emoto very famous Japanese doctor and researcher who did those water experiments where he put water in jars, and some water he would yell at and he would say very negative things to, and then other water he would say very loving, kind things to. And then he would freeze it, and then he would look at the ice crystals under a microscope. And the water he yelled at would have very jagged, asymmetrical, very gnarly ice crystals, okay? And then the water that he said loving things to would have very smooth and symmetrical and beautiful shapes in the ice crystals. And this was amazing. He did all sorts of different experiments, and he always had the same outcome. There's a current researcher named Veda Austin doing the same thing. She's amazing, getting the same results. Then there was Cleve Baxter, the famous CIA interrogator who used the polygraph machine, hooked it up to plants, had very similar results. I started thinking, what is the common denominator here? So with a placebo-nocebo effect, we know that our thoughts can heal or hurt our bodies. That's powerful. That's amazing. And no one can prove how. And then Cleve Baxter proved that we can do it with plants. And then Veda Austin and Dr. Emoto proved that we can do it with water. Water is a common denominator across all of these things. We are made mostly of water. Plants are made mostly of water. The earth itself is made mostly of water. Our atmosphere has a ton of water in it. So I started thinking, is water conscious? Well, I don't know. I'm not ready to take that leap yet, even though I'm not ruling it out.
Everything else is.
But what water probably is, at the very least, is a conductor of intention. Meaning our thoughts, the human being is the one that establishes the intention. We're the one that decides whether something's going to be negative or positive. You get to decide in your head if your thought or your word is going to have a negative or positive energy to it. Now, the water, it's been proven by other people that water stores memory. It stores data. Okay, so if water stores data and it can transmit kind of like a router, it can spread and propagate that data around, well, then our thoughts and our intentions gets stored into the water as data and then gets spread like a router to other, water crystals. And that's how your intention can go from just a thought in your mind to energy into physical matter, into the water, and then spread around, propagate around. That's how collectively humans can hurt or heal the earth. That's how personally we can hurt or heal our body. And that's how we can also use our intention to affect physical matter around us. So the water itself is the carrier. The water is the thing that's taking our intention, our thoughts, and bringing it into physical matter reality. How crazy is that? Water is the key. Let me know you guys' thoughts on all this. Have a beautiful day. Peace.
I don't give a flying fuck what you think about me. Love me, hate me, talk shit about
Pretty
me.
good design right there.
Imagine finding out your...
Now, Ms. Kerger, the American people want to know, is Elmo now, or has he ever been, a member of the Communist Party?
Can you hear this?
A yes or no?
No.
Now, are you sure, Ms. Kerger? Because he's obviously red.
Well, he is a puppet, but no.
Now, that's not all. He also has a very dangerous message about sharing and helping each other. He's indoctrinating our kids that sharing is caring. Now, maybe he's part of a major socialist plot. Let's talk about Cookie Monster. Now, we know that Health Secretary RFK Jr. is coming out against fast food and baked goods. Are we silencing pro-cookie voters? Yes or no? Ms. Kroger.
But cookies are a sometime food.
Well, thank you. And now, I agree with you. And let's also talk about the most important, maybe, character on Sesame Street. This is actually Big Bird. Now, Ms. Kroger, since Elon Musk actually fired USDA workers who have been working on the bird flu, does it make sense to also fire Big Bird? Yes or no?
We would like to keep Big Bird.
I completely agree with you. And now it gets even worse. Now, this is actually a...
You get even worse.
That
Fuck.
Big Bird actually sent out about the COVID-19 vaccine, encouraging folks to actually get their vaccination, which, of course, we believe in vaccines. Now, perhaps the reason why we're having this hearing is because our chairwoman, Ms. Green, has actually said some really negative things about getting vaccinations. And that perhaps is why we are here. And so we support Big Bird being pro-vaccine and promoting vaccines across this country. Now, I will admit, though, the extreme liberal agenda that you're all pushing, I think, doesn't stop there. This, of course, is...
They're besties.
Now, these two guys actually live together. They're friends. They're supportive of each other. Now, that might be triggering to our chairwoman and someone in this committee, and perhaps that's also why we're here today. Ms. Kerger, an important question. Are Bert and Ernie part of an extreme homosexual agenda?
No.
Thank you, Ms. Kerger, and thank you for being a good sport. So the message, I think, today is very, very simple. If we're going to get rid of any puppeteers, we should get rid of the one that's actually controlling Donald Trump. Fire Elon Musk and save Elmo. Now, Ms. Kerger, the American people want to know, Is Elmo now, or has he ever been, a member of the Communist Party of the United States? A yes or no?
No.
So, let me get this straight. He's going to cut down your national forests. He's increasing tariffs on Canada, who will retaliate by increasing your electricity bills even more. Then he's telling you to buy Teslas from a Nazi, because the richest man in the world is losing money. Oh shit me, America, what the fuck is going on? You've got 90 days from when he took office, which ends in around Cinco de Mayo, before...
I don't agree with that. Like, Elon Musk did not invent Tesla, whatever. He invested in it, blah, blah, blah. I don't even think he's the intelligent guy that made all this stuff happen as far as the rockets and everything else. He's an investor. He invests in stuff. And recently I heard that somebody had asked him, how do you feel about people catching these Teslas on fire and these Teslas burning down or whatever? Which for the most part is burning down itself. But for the ones that are burning it down, he's like, well, that's okay, because then they'll become felons and they can't vote. But, I mean, the Heil sign and stuff like that was not cool. But I think people are taking it, like, too much in a certain direction. But who knows, you know?
Or he starts telling you that you're insurrectionists, at which point you're off the streets, anybody against him, gone. You've lost at that point, and that constitution you hold so dear, the second free speech goes, that constitution is toilet paper. If they tried this shit in the UK, they'd get lynched in the street. I'm not condoning any kind of violence, but you can certainly protest. You can certainly stop this happening.
Really?
You are running out of time.
Who was this made? And who are you? It doesn't even say. Can we go down? Right. There we are. Bump it up. A message to Americans. You are enough. I like your sweatshirt, but at the same time, no, what's going on in the UK is ridiculous. People being arrested for their thoughts. I post funny, effed up stuff all the time. Been put in Facebook jail, but not in real jail. And in the UK, they're putting people in jail that don't deserve it and not putting people in jail that do, because they don't want to be like, oh, well, then they're going to think we think this about people that are immigrating here, about immigrants. Protect your people, mofo. Like, quit doing this ish.
No. I don't mean to sound alarmist, but you are running out of time. You have advice, you have people all over the world who will give you advice, tell you where to go, what to do, but unless you get together and stand up to this, you're going to run out of time. I'm just being honest. So,
you gotta be careful.
If you're looking to get your high school diploma, you should really check out Penn.
You guys want to hear something terrifying? The Prophecy of the Popes.
Oh boy.
This book was found in the Vatican archives. Predicted every single pope from in 1143 all the way to
this next one is the last one, so I heard.
The scary thing is, after Pope Francis, the last one, it just says Judgment Day.
Oh gosh.
It literally ends after Pope Francis? Yes. The creepiest thing that I saw inside St. Paul's Basilica, bordering the whole inner sanctuary, is every single pope. But what's weird is that there's only a certain amount of markers to where you can put a picture. There's one left after Pope Francis. They have always said that once that last slot is filled, it will be the end of the world. What he predicted, the time it took to go from the first pope that he wrote about, halfway mark, was 400.
That makes me wonder too, like, okay, so when the thing about aliens and all the other stuff came out, they're like, yeah, we believe aliens exist. Then everybody else jumped on the bandwagon. So, time travelers, aliens, those damn Allens, like, what's going on here? How do they know this? How do they know to put that many? We'll see if this comes to be true or not, but it might be too late by then. But it might not. It might be another hoopla, like the year 2000 or whatever else crap has happened where the world's supposed to end. Nobody's supposed to
422
know.
years. And he's saying from the middle one to the end, another 422 years will be the end of the world. If you do 422 years from the middle pope, which was 1585, that year is 2027.
Dang!
It's even weirder. Pope John the 23rd, and he said that the end of the world would happen 2,000 years plus Christ's life. So that adds up to 2027 as well. You guys want to hear something terrifying? The prophecy.
Oh, man. Monster butterflies. Butterflies and ninjas. The friend is crazy.
I never saw the waves like this before. But is it okay? I will do some warm-up with you. Not the spot. I want the bar.
You want this one? This?
For the warm-up.
Right? How are you gonna lift this?
Like this.
Like this?
How I do with the map? I do it like this one, and then I do it.
No more. This is weights.
Can you just hold them up, please?
This is a mop.
How I use this? Yeah, I use like this. It's just for cleaning.
Maybe he's got like magnets in his shoes.
You're
or something.
like joking because I'm cleaner or what? But like, why it's same weight as my mop?
Hey friends, so Robert Monroe visited Earth in the year 3000 and describes what he saw, and this will blow your mind. It's definitely not what you're expecting. So in his book, Far Journeys, he goes to 3000 something. He said around the year 3000, they stopped counting years, so he's not exactly sure what year it was, but 3000 something, and he meets a group of humans. This is an organized, fact-finding mission that he went with his InSpec guide, and he went to the year 3000 something on Earth, and he talked to these humans, and he basically was like, hey, Earth is beautiful. You guys are beautiful, but there's not very many of y'all. He's like, I'm kind of scared to ask like what happened that led to this dramatic reduction in population. And they're like, well, it's not like that. And they broke it down like this. This is wild. So basically, you know how now we can like leave our body, you can have an out of body experience and go and like explore in the non-physical and have fun and then come back into your body. In the future, they flip that. They do the reverse. They're all non-physical, but they could come into the physical body and have an experience like how we would rent a jet ski. They do that with the physical body. So check this out. Evidently, in the future, we have evolved. We have graduated and ascended out of the need to have a physical body. We don't have the need for this physicality, this physical simulator for consciousness development that we're in. Like our consciousness is non-physical by nature. We come into these physical avatars to have experience, and we feed that back up, and we, learn and grow and evolve our consciousness through these physical experiences. But at a certain point, we outgrow this. It's like a school. You've learned everything, you've done everything, and you graduate the school. But there's still a nostalgia. So in the future, all the human consciousnesses are non-physical. They exist in the spirit world, right? Like when we die, we go to spirit, and then we come back down another incarnation. They don't incarnate anymore. They just exist in the non-physical. But they have this affinity for Earth. This place is cool. They like it. It's nostalgic, and they can still have these experiences. Because in the non-physical, you can't come and like walk around in a forest. You can't go swimming in the ocean, smell flowers, do this fun stuff, right? So what they did in the future is they have these beautiful human bodies that are in these like pods that are at the base of these trees all around Earth. And the non-physical consciousnesses, anytime they want, can just come down, dip down into Earth, go into a physical body, and take it for a spin. Like, have fun. Like, we would rent a jet ski and go have some fun in the ocean. They come down here, and they just go in, like, a group of consciousnesses will come down and have fun and go frolicking, go mountain climbing, go swim in the ocean, and that kind of stuff. Go play games and everything, and be human. And then, when they're done, they just put the bodies back in the pods, and their consciousness returns back up to the non-physical, right, where they exist. And they just kind of look at Earth as this like playground and this like place to go have physical experiences. And there's this nostalgia for it. So even though they've ascended to the point where they don't need physical bodies, they don't need to be in Earth, they're not bound to Earth, they just have this connection. And they're like,
That's kind of like what I've said forever. We are not humans having a spiritual experience. We are spirits having a human experience.
we like it here. This is fun. And they hang out, It's kind of like living by the beach or the playground or something. You're like, yeah, it's fun to go over there and play. So anyways, in the future, instead of us having out-of-body experiences, we'll have in-body experiences. How freaking crazy is that? Doesn't that make you think just totally differently about consciousness and Earth and everything? So just think about it this way. Right now, we get to have this experience. We don't have to have it. We get to have it. Because in the future, this human experience is so cool and so much fun and so neat that even when our consciousness has evolved to the point where it doesn't need this at all, it still chooses to hang out and have this experience. It looks forward to it. It's like R&R. Pretty cool. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about that. Have a beautiful day.
So a few weeks ago, I was putting some washing away
when I found a bag tucked inside my husband's wardrobe. It was small and very obviously from a jewellery shop. So, curiosity got the better, and I had a look. And what I found was an engagement ring. I won't lie to you, the second I saw it, my stomach was doing flips. My heart was pounding. This was it. He was going to propose. And I cannot tell you, I was so ready. I was so ready to be his wife.
Girl.
I love that man with everything that I have. And to know that he was preparing to spend the rest of his life with me. Since that moment, I've been walking around with so much excitement bubbling in my belly. Every time I look at him, all I can think is, I cannot wait to call you my fiancé. It's like I've been living in this little secret bubble of happiness. Until today. My partner's working away for the weekend. It's about a 3-hour drive, and his work have put him up in a B&B so that he can just get it done by Sunday. And something came over me. I needed to see my ring again. I needed to confirm that I hadn't dreamt this. I guess I just wanted to feel closer to him while he was away to remind myself of what's about to happen. So I went back to his wardrobe. I pulled out the bag, and it was empty. The ring is just gone. So I'm trying to tell myself that he's hid it somewhere better so that there's no chance I can find it.
No,
he's
girl,
working
no.
3 hours away. Surely he didn't take it with him. Why would you take the ring without the bag? If you don't want me to find it, why would you leave the bag? I felt something creeping in, something washing over me.
Listen to
All
your
of the
gut, girl.
excitement and happiness that I had felt was now just ebbing away, leaving panic and worry. So I checked his location, just to make sure he was where he said he was going to be. I've never really had reason to check this before. I've never caught him out on a lie. I've never questioned anything that he said to me. We're a team, why would I? But I checked it. He's turned it off. I have absolutely no way of confirming that he is where he says he is. At this point, my brain was spiraling. I needed to do something, I just didn't know what. So I called him.
At this point, just change the locks and put all his shit on the doorstep, on the stoop, whatever you want to call it.
I called him and I tried to have a semi-normal conversation at first, before I just couldn't take it anymore. And so I said to him, you know, everyone's getting engaged around us. Like, when do you think it's our turn? He was so abrupt. He told me we need to prioritise buying our house before we can get engaged. So we're looking at least a few years before we even think about doing that. I want to believe that he's just trying to throw me off the course. That he's just trying to make me think, oh, it's not going to happen, and then it happens. But where the fuck is the ring? My head is telling me that I am staring something so obvious in the face here. But my heart just doesn't want to believe it. He comes back from his trip tomorrow. Half of me wants to just confront him, say, I found the ring, where the hell is it? Is it even mine? And the other half of me wants to just start tracking his car, seeing where he goes and follow him. Find out the truth for myself, because if he
You'll
is
become a
lying to
stalker.
me, well then I don't think he's going to be truthful by me just asking for it. So a few weeks ago, I was putting some washing away when I found a bag tucked inside my husband's wardrobe. It was small and very obviously from a jewellery shop. So, curiosity got the better, and I had a look. And what I found was an engagement.
Yep.
Hey friends, it seems that reality is emulating art once
What's
again. I've
under
always
the
loved this meme. You've probably seen this
pyramids?
been circulating for years. It's beautiful. And what it does is it illustrates that there's more than meets the eye when it comes to Great Pyramids at Giza. And I think we all know that this is not the whole story. As amazing as these are, that is not the whole story. But how much more is there to the story? Well, after this groundbreaking news that came out a couple days ago about these findings underneath the Great Pyramid of Giza, I wanted to show you a few different artist depictions that have come out showing the scale of what they found underneath the pyramid. Now, if you don't know, super quick recap, a team of scientists and engineers.
Okay, so remember that AI shiz we saw earlier? I'm like, oh, they finally got him down there, like, checking it out. No, they don't. Nobody's allowed down there. Even at the foot of the Sphinx, where supposedly there's a secret library, but you're not supposed to go in there till a certain year. Look at this. Look at the columns. Look at the springs wrapping around it. They're not like tight and coiled like the AI shit showed. It's like loosely coiled, kind of like buildings that are meant for earthquakes or bombing or whatnot. That's what this reminds me of. But at the same time, I've been thinking forever that pyramids are not a construct of burying pharaohs, etc., etc. You've never found a pharaoh's body or any sort of thing like that inside of a pyramid. They're always found out in the desert in certain tombs and stuff that have been covered by sand. These are PowerPoints. These are power constructed buildings that emit power. A lot of times we've seen UFOs above the pyramids. Yeah, look at this. This is nothing like the AI shiz we saw earlier.
Engineers, using the special ground-penetrating radar that creates these 3D models, found these 8 gigantic columns that protrude into the bedrock from underneath the Great Pyramid of Giza that feed down into these gigantic, chambers.
The pattern down below looks like underwater.
Underneath. So a few people put together some graphics showing just the scale of these things. Here they show the columns, these 8 columns with these spiral pathways feeding into these gigantic chambers here underneath the pyramid. But how far down into the ground do they go? Well, here's an artist depiction showing the Great Pyramid here. Oh my God. And, the columns in comparison to the Empire State Building, just so you can see the scale.
This is crazy.
Nuts. And these are guesstimates because we haven't been able to confirm any of this just yet. And here's another artist depiction here showing the Giza underground system, and this is the scale of it compared to, this is the Statue of Liberty right here, the Twin Towers, and this is the tallest building in the world in Dubai. So you can just see their scale here and just the perspective. It's just crazy how big they think that these columns, how deep they go into the ground. It's really mind-blowing, and it really makes you just start thinking, what could these things be? Like, what are these columns? What are these spiral pathways? And what are these huge cubes that they're feeding into? And the whole internet's freaking out right now, trying to figure out, is this some sort of a free energy machine? Is it some sort of a weapon? Is it some underground Atlantean, city? What is down there? And this is another artist depiction that I found that, is just beautiful. And again, all of this is just kind of speculation and guesstimating and having fun with these findings. But that team that released the findings say that there's a whole lot more data coming out. They're just kind of wetting our whistle, and to be staying tuned because they're going to have multiple more press conferences and releasing a lot more data. But in the meantime, we can have fun just speculating on what is underneath the pyramids. Let me know in the comments what you think it is, my friends. Have a beautiful night. Peace. Hey, friends.
Oh my God!
What's going on? Aww. What is happening?
Well, good afternoon. I want to welcome all of y'all here today for a truly historic occasion. My friends in the house.
What is up with that guy? Is he supposed to be AI?
My administration.
Why are they focusing on him?
Press. Welcome to the signing of House Bill 1.
Why are they focusing on him? It's creeping me out.
Not just for the headlines.
Oh.
Not just for the...
Let's see in here. Yes. Taxes are illegal. That's one of the reasons we left the UK. Because they were taxing our asses into oblivion. This guy's super happy.
Politics, but for the profound...
The only reason I like taxes is because in the end, I get a big old chunk back, but otherwise... What is going on? This guy just seems weird.
It represents. I must say, it feels like it's been a long time coming. But after many years of hard work, we can all stand together.
Who the frack is that?
We have accomplished income tax elimination in the state of Mississippi.
Going into Tokyo. Gillette, man. Come on, Frenchie.
Hit it.
Oh, such a sweet doggy.
My happy guy. Oh, just a happy guy.
These days, these nights, I'm changing my mind.
Here are 3 logic-based.
Okay, let me go see what time it is. What time was it? We've got 4 more minutes.
So who else remembers Dave Chappelle's infamous interview on the Oprah Winfrey Show?
Ref Oprah.
I wasn't walking away from the money. I was walking away from the circumstances that were coming with the newfound plateau.
Now, this interview between Dave Chappelle and Oprah took place in 2006, not long after Dave had returned from his trip to Africa. As a matter of fact, this was Dave Chappelle's very first interview after returning back, so you can imagine there were a lot of topics Oprah wanted to discuss. And wasting absolutely no time, Oprah immediately asked Dave why he walked away from his show and his $50 million contract.
Because they weren't paying
I was doing sketches that were funny, but socially irresponsible. It's like you're getting flooded with things and you don't pay attention to things like your ethics or when you get so overwhelmed. I wasn't walking away from the money. I was walking away from the circumstances that were coming with the newfound plateau.
And as the interview continued, you could tell that there were questions that Dave Chappelle was answering that Oprah didn't necessarily like the answers that she was getting because they didn't fit the narrative that she was trying to apply to the situation. And each time Dave Chappelle...
You know, her schools in Africa, there's been all kinds of sex scandals, missing girls, obliterated pregnancies, etc., etc. All swept under the rug. What's going on there, Miss Harpo?
Chappelle started talking about something, Oprah would do her best to steer the conversation away from the topic, and Dave Chappelle would ignore what she was trying to do, then circle right back to what he was trying to say, eventually taking complete control of the interview.
He should have jumped up and been like, "Look, bitch, I don't care what you say."
Itself. And once Dave Chappelle realized he had full control over the conversation, he began to discuss exactly what happened at Comedy Central and how they were not only trying to convince him that he...
And guess what she does? She's like, do you think you lost your mind a little bit? No, you have, because you've been paid off by the elite.
He was crazy, but how they were quite literally trying to drive him insane.
Well, your handlers, for instance. A lot of these people traditionally get paid on percentage basis. The more you work,
The more they make.
the more they make.
Yeah.
And I was overwhelmed. I don't know, it was almost as if this was happening deliberately. And then they put in the paper that I had pneumonia, or God knows what. It was walking pneumonia, because I was walking all over the place. And then the next day it was in the paper that I had writer's block. Then I knew something was getting ready to get stressful, because I hadn't even started writing. Sounds like somebody's trying to put young Dave in a compromising position. The whole time, they're trying to convince me I'm insane.
Yeah.
They were trying to get me to take
else.
psychotic medication. It's very stressful for someone to constantly walk behind you and say, you're insane. I showed up to work the first
that
week,
your
and
handler?
where my office used to be, they built a wall there.
What?
Why?
I didn't know why. But it came out later that they were like, well, they said you wanted it. I don't want to be walled up at the office.
So who else remembers Dave Chappelle's infamous...
Who is this that obscures my plans with words without knowledge? Brace yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me. Where were you when I laid the Earth's foundation? Tell me if you understand. Who marked off its dimensions? Surely you know.
Wow.
Who stretched a measuring line across it? On what were its footings set? Or who laid its cornerstone, while the morning stars sang together and all the angels shouted for joy? Who shut up the sea behind doors when it burst forth from the womb? When I made the clouds its garment and wrapped it in thick darkness, when I fixed limits for it and set its doors and bars in place, when I said, this far you may come and no farther, here is where your proud waves halt.
Incognito Gaming TV.
Have you ever given orders to the morning, or shown the dawn its place, that it might take the earth by the edges and shake the wicked out of it? The earth takes shape like clay under a seal.
Idea of what AI
its features stand out like those of a garment. The wicked of the night their light, and their upraised arm is broken.
Hands always look jacked up.
Have you journeyed to the springs of the sea, or walked in the recesses of the deep? Have the gates of death been shown to you? Have you seen the gates of the deepest darkness? Have you comprehended the vast expanses of the earth? Tell me if you know all this. Who is this that obscures my plans?
Alright guys, boys and girls, on that note, we're going to go to our second music break. On this break, we have Miss Michaelan Hay from Ontario, Canada. At the time that she released a lot of this music, she was only the age of 19. But she's going to be singing Pins and Needles, Mirror, and Gravity. And then we have Mr. Fred Johnson III from Canyon County, California with After Dark. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
Talking on pins and needles, every word through a microscope. You keep stomping down on the ground while I've been stuck on this tightrope. I just want to say what I want to say without your sentence. I'm not willing to do the time when I'm innocent, and I'm innocent. Talking on pins and needles. Talking on pins and needles. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. Walked on my share of thin ice with your blowtorch at my feet. You won't ever see me beg, so take this tongue off your leash. I'm gonna say what I wanna say, don't need permission. Interpret it how you want, it's my decision. Talking on pins and needles. Talking on pins and needles. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. Dancing on shattered glass, kicking the pieces all around. My safety has been broken, this is now a hunting ground. Talking on pins and needles. Talking on pins and needles. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done, done, done. I'm gonna hang it scar, scar, scar. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is out of reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is out of reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. Try to erase the ink that's left upon my chest. I'll attest, I don't really wanna forget to forget you. You taught me how to turn a blind eye. I showed you how to keep your shoulder cold. No, no one walked away without a scar, scar, scar. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is out of reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is out of reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. You taught me how to turn a blind eye. I showed you how to keep a shoulder cold. No, no one walked away without a scar, scar, scar. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is out of reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is out of reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. falling stars, waiting for the moment we I feel you pull me closer. You got me burning up. You got a hold on me. I feel you pull me closer. You got me burning up. Your mind, my gravity. I feel you pull me closer. You got me burning up. You got a hold on me. I feel you pull me closer. You got me burning up. Your mind, my gravity.
My driver pulls up in my limousine, ready to take me anywhere I want to be. I said, I want to go. Take me to a college scene. I'd like to go and dance, have drinks, and hunt the perfect day. Yeah. Living at the door, I search lonely streets to find hidden shadows in the dark. It doesn't matter what I say. Secret homicides arranged in a series of pursuits. No matter what I say, after dark, I gave her face because she had the range. I knew she was the one that never could go home again. Plastic lights like limo seats. I don't know why I can't control this urge to hurt again. Yeah. Living at the door, I search lonely streets to find hidden shadows in the dark. It doesn't matter what I say. Changes in the sky, murder forever after. No matter what I say, after dark. Feeling ran to fragmented feel. In hiding place with days of December. Concerning works were meshed in the bandage. It doesn't matter what I say. It really doesn't. No matter what I say, after dark. It doesn't matter what I say. Secret homicides arranged in a series of pursuits. No matter what I say, changes in the sky, murder forever after. It doesn't matter what I say. Rude and fatal, lacking the hint of conscience. No matter what I say, after dark.
Welcome back, and thanks so much for joining me tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. Tonight we've been doing trippy TikToks with me, TessaTNT, and instead of doing people I follow, it was my For You list. And I must admit, I do like the follow list better than the For Me list because a lot of those were advertisements that I did not appreciate. I'm super, super stoked that my bestie, Miss Mea Savage, is in tonight to, I don't know, hang out with us for a minute and share some info. Welcome, Mea, and thanks so much for coming in tonight. I've been missing you.
Sorry, I've been missing you too. Oh my goodness. It's my mic or my The audio is echoing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's what I forgot to do. So I gotta go into my settings really quick because I've been on stereo for the TikToks. So let me get off there and go to echo cancellation. Right, is that better?
Let's see. Yeah, testing. We're good.
Nice. Oh, I like your new picture. That's cute.
How are? Oh yeah, my hair's dark right now, so is my soul. So
I feel you. My eldest daughter
Any
went
new
from
paranormal things? Any new paranormal experiences or information that you've acquired since last time?
well, really, really trippy dreams, shadow things, and like forever I've seen them out of my peripheral. But my kids, when they start mentioning it, that's when it trips me out because I'm like, okay, so it's not just like floaters in my vision or something. Like my kids are seeing it too. I don't know. Things have been really, really different lately. I don't know if we're into another like different realm. I want to say genre because that's what it feels like, but it feels like we're going into something else than we generally were. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like there's been a weird shift or anything like that? Because I feel like we've kind of shifted.
Definitely. I feel like there's more people just kind of opening their minds to the possibilities of things and questioning things a lot more, and it's kind of nice. But yeah, I do feel like things have shifted. I've had a lot of like very crazy dreams lately as well. So I feel you on that, definitely. I think that I did hear this crazy like theory about how HARP possibly like shifted timelines, like shifted us. And how crazy would that be with if a bunch of just curious like scientists decided to be like, oh, okay, let's just warp, our entire universe like, and think that there's no like consequences.
You're laughing about it, but I feel like that's been going on for years.
Energy and stuff.
Yeah, ever since they started doing CERN, we've had several different jumps.
CERN, sorry, not HARP. That's what it is.
Yeah, several different jumps for, man, I want to say like 4 or 5 years is how long I've been noticing it, but people are like, no, it's just a normal thing. No, I'm pretty sure it's CERN and the collision of the God particle, etc., that is causing this, because otherwise, what is it? Unless it's those damn Allens. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. It just seems like doesn't it feel like we are not necessarily living out our lives properly? Like we're not our full selves. Does that make sense? Like we're not like, I don't know, like I feel like we're being put onto different paths and timelines and stuff that like kind of aren't natural for us, really, or they weren't supposed, like things are moving so quickly that it's like, I don't know, it just feels weird. It just feels like I'm in between realities, if you will. Like I'm like in between two different like versions, two different timelines, like all the time.
Like you feel out of place.
And like this has been going on for a while, and I'm not the only one. So this is not like some sort of a mental psychosis type thing. A lot of
I feel
people,
you totally.
It's like they're living kind of, yeah. See, like you're living kind of in between two realities, and it's like, what? Like, it's so weird. It's like there's like two realities that you're, possibly more, that you're living at the same time, and you can't decide which one is the real reality.
And I think also like a lot of us jump through it, but some of us stay behind, like me and you and Vern and the kids, whatever, like we all were jumping through it, and all of us from the same realm are going into different realms. But then, I mean, I think it was a few years ago when I was talking to Vern about, the Mandela effect and all this different stuff, and he's always been on the same page with me as far as, Luke, I am your father. But then it changed to, no, Luke, it is I who is your father. No, that's not what it was. It was like, Luke, I am your father. I've been saying that since I was like 7 years old. And then he's like, no, it's this one. I'm like, okay, other dimensional Vern. But yeah, that's when a lot of stuff like started to change.
That too with people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where it's like I'll notice like people's behavior is just not typical to them, and not in an they've evolved type of way, just like in a like maybe NPC type of way, if you will, where it's like that's not your typical response. But I think a lot of it has to do with people are just, including myself, like are on their phones and on devices all day long, and they're being, who knows what type of like programming like is going on through that stuff. Like even if you scroll past an ad 50 times and you don't think anything of it, it'll randomly pop in your, like, let's say, I don't know, I can't think of a particular ad or anything, but it like you'll scroll past it a million times and then randomly it'll pop in your head to look up that exact thing. Like just kind of brainwashing through advertising and through like just programming, like people with different, like on your For You page, different ideas that will pop up into your head, and like then you start using the lingo, the terminology, you start seeing through that perspective. But then you have to kind of ground yourself and separate and be like, okay, what is my actual opinion? Why am I repeating like a parrot, some of these other like videos and things that are popping up? Why am I now talking like that? Why am I talking like Gen Z? Why am I doing that? Like, it's, I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny
can be very
that.
toxic if somebody's negative opinion like is out there and gets a bunch of traction and a lot of interaction and a lot of plays, and then that same opinion is gathered by like hundreds of thousands of people, right? Like there's influencers who are pushing these ideas through their perspective and through their experiences, but they're not necessarily like healthy, especially when it comes to like the dating world or just people's not even dating, but like people's perception of the opposite sex. It can be so toxic because now you've got just like these men that are being fed one thing and women are being fed another thing, and it's like creating a battle of the sexes. Like, I don't know. And I think that's kind of,
For me, I've just stepped back from it, kind of like
people divided
numbly.
as a whole.
Like, I have not done anything for like, I feel like it's almost a year now. And that is so odd for me. And I'm doing like all kinds of blood work and shit because like this shit ain't normal. And I'm hoping it's not something cancerous or really bad like that. I'm hoping it's just like, I'm 46 and, all of a sudden this shit is happening in my life for the last year. But no, like, I'm so glad I'm away from that. And all I care about is, well, it was my job until my car broke down. But now it's like my chickens and my 2 geese. I got 2 little baby geese the other day from Tennessee, and they're cute. One's a Emden and the other one's a Buff, and I don't know, they're my babies. First night they were beaking all night long, but now they've been getting used to the chickens, and they're like, okay, we're at home. I just have to put on relaxing music for them. But yeah, socializing, people, politics, parties, like all kinds of different things are just really bad. And I was talking about that earlier, like we need to quit with that because that is not us. That is what we're being fed. We're being fed, oh, well, Democrat, Republican, whatever the heck else you are, gay, lesbian, transgender, whatever the fuck you are. Like, who fucking cares except for the government's going to put all this stuff out there for us to hate and fight against each other and separate, because if we come together, we are powerful and they are weak. But they know just what to do. They've been doing that for forever.
Exactly. Like, it I think though, like, people are waking up to it to a certain degree, a lot of people, but a lot of people are staying stuck into the agenda and the things that are being pushed on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we need leadership. I don't know how any civilization could survive without leadership or a government of some kind, because imagine they just take away the government, right? Like, there's no government, there's no guidance, there's no laws.
Can we really please?
Anarchy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't agree with that either, because first of all, there'd be a lot of people killed.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot
Yeah,
of
when they're
women
saying
and
get rid
children
of
would
the
be in
police,
danger.
I'm like, no, thank you. Like, yes, when I get pulled over, I shake. Like, I'm fucking scared. It's just the way I'm programmed, because the cops coming to my house when my dad and my stepmom and everybody was having a domestic violence issue. It causes stress for me, so I automatically shake. It's not because I did something wrong, but yeah, that's just what I'm used to. I think we need the police. And when they were talking about let's get rid of them, I'm like, are you freaking serious? Like, what are you gonna take you and your neighborhood or whoever the frack else you think, and you're gonna be the new police? I don't think so. I don't know. Like, that scared me. I was afraid they were actually gonna do it.
I 100% back, like, the police and our first responders and everything.
Me too.
What would we do without them? It's the corruption, though. Like, I read this thing, and it was like the 80-20 rule. Like, there's the corruption within those organizations, and the leadership and the corruption of the leadership of those and or ownership of those organizations is, where the problem lies. But we need that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's going to be very interesting, and a very interesting next 10 years. That's for sure. Like, I see all these smart cities being built and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, I don't want any part of it. I don't want any part of it.
No, me neither.
I don't want to be confined. I don't want to be, regulated. I don't want, like, the Black Mirror episode where it's like, we're being watched and monitored all the time. Not like in a creepy way, but in a everything we do is monitored through our phones and through, like, CCTV cameras and through satellites and everything. And I don't want it to be like you're being rated, like your social rating. We'll put it that way. Like, there's a Black Mirror episode where it's like just Joe Blow on the street, you can be walking by him and they have, like, a social score and stuff like that. Like, it all freaking jobs checking your social media. It's like, it's stupid.
It is.
It's just, I'm torn between either posting more or what I've done I'm trying different things. So I've stayed pretty silent and quiet on most platforms for the last couple of years, partially because I'm making a lot of huge, like, life changes and focusing on work and a whole different strange path or whatever, but partially because I feel like anything you say online can be twisted. It's there forever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can see it, like, for safety purposes. There's so many different things, but I'm like, I'm at this, like, point and age and time in my life where I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna blurt it out. Like, I don't care. I'm just gonna keep, start posting and stuff again, because everyone does at this point.
Well, I feel like it's important to share your
Once
ideals
you
and stuff.
put something online, it's there forever.
Yeah, even if you delete it, like, immediately, it's there somewhere. Somebody's got it. Yeah. I've been grounded from Facebook for a while because I was reading this book here about the Nazis and the occult. Dark forces unleashed by the Third Reich. Luckily, last weekend I finished that, so I can move on to another book. But I ended up doing like trigger warning, like there's a lot of bad stuff in here, and I do not agree or promote or anything these guys have done. Like, I don't agree with it, but I do agree that if we don't learn from our history, like, we're doomed to repeat it. So it's important to learn about it. And a lot of people today haven't learned about it. A lot of people today are in denial. But yeah, they blocked my Facebook Live on all stratospheres, like mine, my Four Corners Paranormal, and my We Are Paradox Media. And I even put in, like, this is not what you think it is. I was not promoting. I'm just educating. But yeah, I'm still blocked for that.
There's definitely reasons for that, for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's like when I got videos taken down because I had literally screenshotted something that was on CIA.org and then it said it was false information. I'm like, how is it false information? I screenshotted it. Like, you can't, that's, but like people are waking up and I think they're censoring less of that, not, it depends on what it is and what platform you're using, but there's less censorship in some ways because there's just so many people. Like, I think about 10 years ago, if I would have told people about the, the experiments that like the CIA and other organizations throughout probably many, many years have used all over the world, like for remote viewing where they use like psychics to like find people, and things and objects and things like that. Like, people would have called me crazy and or paranoid and or probably thought I was on crack or something. But like now if you talk to almost the general population within a younger demographic, 1 out of 4 or 5 people will probably listen and maybe even already know about certain things like that. It's kind of a cool time to be living.
More and more people are becoming awakened or open-minded. Yes, there are tons of sheeple, but people are seeing things and being like, what the crack is that? And re-looking at things that they've always believed in. And that's the hard part. Like, you were taught this, you were learned this, whatever you want to call it, but now you see things differently, like different things are happening. And it can be scary. Like, to me, I don't know, I have not been a sheeple. I have not been on that front. And yes, I pissed people off several times. And I'm like, it's not hatred, it's humor. Like, I laugh not only at these things, but at myself, because if I can't, then, I don't know, I'd be a very unhappy person. And yeah, I think I'm a pretty funny individual, and a lot of stuff that's happening in the world right now is pretty damn funny. Sometimes in not such a funny way, but I don't know, like, always with trauma, I always have to laugh at some extent. It's kind of like my coping mechanism. But yeah, the world's gone mad. Things are gone crazy, and I don't hate anybody. That takes
like
too much energy.
AI right now is like what is so crazy to me. I went so like deep into like thought about like AI, like, and how we only know like the tip of the iceberg when it comes to that stuff and how advanced it looks, so real. And then we have like AI that's conscious now, and then I like wonder like what if we are AI? What if there's like actual like robots just walking around that we don't even know?
Yeah, it's funny. There was a video earlier. Man, what was it talking about? There was a bunch of people and they were lining up.
But just in general, the powers that be.
Yeah, and those that follow. Yeah, I saw this video last hour where a bunch of people were lining up and some guy was talking about, I can't even remember what he's talking about because this guy at the very end just like was sitting there and looking around like really strangely, like this adult man is looking like a child and he's looking and smiling and like looking everywhere while everybody else is focused on the speaker. He's just like, super happy to be there, and he's on the very outskirts of the whole group. I'm like, what the heck is going on with this guy? Like, is this AI? Is this real? And then I don't know if you've heard about the pyramids or not, the structures they found under the pyramids. This to me is insane. But yeah, somebody already did an AI.
Oh yeah,
on
they
that.
found it with sound waves or something.
Yep.
Initially.
Yeah. Yeah, and somebody did a video on it. I was like, oh, somebody finally did a video.
History as we know it, I think is almost a complete lie. Just tons of it.
Yeah, for the most part. The winners write history, and the winners are not always honest. It shouldn't be like that, really. It should be like, what happened, happened. Yeah, with that AI thing, it was like
But
people under the pyramid.
To protect assets, to protect land, to protect wealth. That's what it all boils down to, is to protect all of the above. Possessions, wealth, and resources.
Yeah,
and
can
it
you
started
eat that?
so long ago and went on for so long.
Yeah. It's just the wrong agenda.
As empaths, we can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
We can feel when something is off and wrong, and when there's so much that's off and wrong, it's like, okay, how do we ground ourselves? Like, I think that's what I've been more focused on lately, is just like, how do I get back to filtering through all of this stuff? And I think a big way is like grounding. I used to laugh at people like hugging trees, or even that concept, and then I like looked into it and I'm like, no, I'm not going to become a tree hugger, but I almost would hug a tree. I would have to make damn sure nobody's around, because I will not be that girl. But I am so tempted.
I have hugged trees, and it was in my teen years. I think I was 12 or 13, and we went up to Vallecito to the LDS camp, and it was so crazy. Like, the trees smelled like different things. Some of them smelled like butterscotch. Some of them smelled like vanilla, and I can't remember what the other one was. Probably pine or something that it's supposed to be. But yeah, I was holding on to it and like smelling it. Yes, I did hug a tree. But to me, it's like, I'm not embarrassed about it, because trees have auras. Trees have energies. Trees have intelligence. Plants do. Like, everything that I look at anymore, I can see auras on and know, like, everything is there for a reason. Everything has an aura. Everything has intelligence. And I might sound crazy for saying that, but at the same time, I truly believe it, because the more years that pass, the more I see. And to me, like, when I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so mind-blowing. They have their own auras. They have their own intelligence.
Yeah. Definitely. They definitely do.
But it's been a long time since I've hugged a tree.
I've been having a lot of fun working in mental health lately. It's very interesting being like empathic and spiritual and working in mental health. It's very third eye opening. I had
So what have you noticed?
I had one person recently, not too recently, but he has like maybe like, I don't want to say two personalities or two souls in one body or something. And it's funny because the other one will just pop out sometimes. He's not diagnosed with it, but it's really funny when it happens. His second personality is kind of an asshole, but in a sassy way. He's not like evil or anything, but he'll just like blurt things out and then not even know that he said it. And I feel like I need to name the second one, and because like I feel like I can have a conversation with the second one, and it's like really sassy, and he's always like,
I want to say Patricia, but it's probably something else.
And then it's like it never even happened, and it's like I need to come up with a name for that one, because it's a completely different vibe.
I'm feeling Patricia.
Different person, and we'll call him guy number one has no idea. So I have my weird little sassy, like, what is it? Like, kind of arguments with guy number 2, but then 90% of the time it's guy number 1. Well, maybe like 80% of the time. So it's kind of funny because it's like it's literally nowhere on paper does it say anything about that. It's just something that I have figured out. And then I noticed, like, with power of attraction and stuff, like, I'm pretty good at calling in certain things. And I don't know which comes first, the chicken or the egg, when it comes to, like, manifestation. I don't know if it's like if it's like you call it in or you're picking up on something from the future. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's funny
Like,
because
if
Lily
you're drawn
brought that
to
up.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're drawn to something, like let's say you're drawn to red cars, for example, a specific one, right? Or let's say lately for me it's been Broncos, like not even red, just like Broncos, right? And I just keep seeing like Broncos everywhere, and then I'll see like a hat that says Bronco, and it'll just be really, really weird. And I'm like, I don't even know anybody who has a Bronco, and it's just like it just keeps happening. And then I have, for some reason, really been into like Nike lately, which is not like me. It's just I just randomly have been like wearing Nike stuff. And then this girl comes in to the facility, and I'm talking head to toe decked out in Nike. Like every single outfit she has for a month is all Nike. Her shoes are Nike. Her shirts are all Nike. Her hats are Nike. And I'm like laughing because I just for the last couple weeks, all I've been doing is buying Nike. Like, well, like I like consigned clothes. So I've been more like trading, like, and I've just been into it for some weird reason. I don't know. I guess because it's summertime and I need something comfortable to wear that's not like Western wear.
Right.
And I've just been over like a lot of the athletic brands and stuff, and I'm getting rid of a lot of clothes, and I ended up trading for like a couple of like Nike things. And it's just funny. Like I've been obsessed with Nike, and this girl comes in just only for a couple weeks obsessed with Nike, and this girl just decked out, just completely decked out. Everything she was there, and I'm like laughing because so it's like, did I just see that coming, or did I feel her energy? Like, is that why I'm
You
obsessed
could
with
have.
Nike?
You could
Like,
have been
did I
picking up on
meet her
that.
on the Astro first or something?
Yeah, and
What?
it's funny because like I said you could have been picking up on that. I bought these like a couple years ago during the winter. These are mesh. These are Nikes. I bought them during the winter. And I'm like, these are the stupidest shoes to buy during the winter, but they've been my favorite and they've lasted for years. And I've been afraid to buy Nike. I've never been drawn to them, but these I was, but because kids supposedly are there trafficked making shoes. But perhaps, like you're saying, because she was coming, you were drawn to it and kind of pulling it in. I don't know. Are you still there? You're muted if you
Oh,
don't
I was
know,
on mute.
but
I'm so sorry.
it's okay. I was like, you're muted if you don't know. I thought it was me.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, it's all
No,
good.
I was on mute. But yeah, the CERN stuff was really fascinating. I actually, if I can, I'll send you a very fascinating video about that. Oh, there was one that was super fast. It got.
Oh, you keep going in and out.
And it was.
You said it got, and then I couldn't hear anything. And
Can
you
you
said,
hear
and
me?
it is. Yeah.
Oh, it got super interesting. The CERN video. Oh, there's another one, the Superstition Mountains. I've always wanted to do like we should do like I don't know. The Superstition Mountains have always given me weird like alien vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you come to Arizona, we should check them out and do something.
I think the Day too. I don't know. People talk about seeing like gnome sort of things, but I think it's Duende. Also, we have a person out here that's wanting help with leprechauns in Dove Creek. I'm like, are you serious? But he's told me all the different things that have happened, and he had a native lady go out there, and she's like, they're leprechauns. Like, that's the last thing I'd think a native person would say, but I'm like, that's interesting. And then a lot of the things he says, I'm just like, this could be mental illness. But at one point he was walking out into the fields and the valleys and stuff, and he found a canyon that did not exist. Like, there were certain rocks in front of it. He went through it for a little bit and then went back. But then when he went back to find it, it was gone. We've been trying to figure out how to go and do that. But everybody on the team wants to do it on the weekends, and I'm just like, I'm not available on the weekends. And so it feels like a loop of, we can't do anything anymore because I'm not available on weekends and everybody else is not available on weekdays. But I'm hoping,
Same. I've been telling people I week weekends.
You've been telling them what?
I week weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of I work weekends, I've been saying I week weekends.
That's right. It's so true.
I just sent you a TikTok that's very interesting. You should check it out. I don't know if you necessarily want to do it for the show. It's definitely kind of paranormal, but it's very interesting.
Right? Yeah, I don't know how to share it from here to there. I did have my TikTok pulled up, but I got rid of it once you called and I was like, she's here. But I have it pulling up right now. Maybe I could email it to myself or something if you want me to share it. But remember Richard that was a part of our team and he was there for the trespass dance?
I do.
Yes, well, I'm super proud of him because for the last few years he's been working in the community and helping the homeless and stuff like that and pulling weight and trying to get some things going for them. But yeah, he's supposed to go with me on this leprechaun thing too. But I'm just like, I don't know. Hold on. My phone is yabbering. But yeah, I was talking to him about how the girls can't do it on the weekdays and they want to do it on the weekends. And generally I'll hear back from him, but I haven't. So I don't know if he's available. I don't know if you can come up for that. But yeah, it's all the way in Dove Creek.
Yeah, when possibly. Possibly. When's that?
Well, how about you set a date and then we'll work around that. Because if we could have you and me and Richard, to me, that is our team. Because I feel we're the most connected.
Yeah.
Everybody else is on their other realm. And I did talk to Mel and another one because they're into fae and different things like that. And leprechauns are kind of on the same wavelength. But I don't know. I think if me and you and Richard went out there, we can get it. If they have to work during the week, they have to work during the week. But I think Richard's kind of like me. I have an open schedule, especially since my car broke down. But even before then, I'm self-employed, so I can do my schedule however I want to. I've just been vehiculeless. It's been ridiculous. Ridiculous, vehiculous.
Weekends are just right as of right now. My no-do zone. But yes, I would love to get out of here and see like some trees and head up at some point. Definitely.
Yeah, and
plus I miss you.
I miss you too. Like, man, I was so excited when you were talking about something that is not so happy. I was like, are you here in the area? And you're like, nope. I'm like, man. But no, like, yeah, if we could work that out, that'd be awesome. And like I said, I'm pretty open, so whatever your schedule entails, maybe we can work around that. And I could let Richard know. But yeah, this guy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm probably going to be coming up a little a couple of times for sure this summer because just mainly my horses need some grass. They've earned it. They've worked hard. They've earned their keep here, being therapeutic for all the people that need it. It's pretty nice. It's nice to be able to share kind of what they do for me with others.
Yeah. It was sad what happened to your other horse with the sand and stuff. I was just like, man. But yeah, if they could come up here and like get some prairie and some grass and some whatever else in there, man, that'd be a land of extreme change for them.
I watched this very interesting girl online that she does like Reiki with horses. So she does like Reiki healing sessions. She'll lay someone down like on a like a massage table and play like sounds and whatever chimes, sound bowls, and the horses will like I don't think my horses will do this, but I don't know if I want to be that far into the hooky dookie stuff, you know, but I am curious if I started playing like meditation music or like what is it called, like Tibetan monk chants or something, or like sound bowls, and then laid someone on a massage table, if the horse would come and hang out with them and just see. Like, I put nothing past like animals and their reaction to energy, or their reaction, creation, response, whatever you want to say. Like, I think it'd be very interesting.
Yeah, it's funny because the first day I got the geese, not last night or yesterday, but the day before, I was just like holding them in the blanket to the point where Vern didn't even know. He's like, well, let's see those geese. And so I just folded down the blanket. He's like, okay, Mother Goose. But yeah, that night they were like, beak, beak, beak all night long. I'm like, how can you do that? You're just beaking all night long. And then they finally quieted it down the next day because they were probably really tired. And then next day, hold them in a blanket, putting them back. They're doing good. Today, holding them in the blanket, putting them back. Then they're just like beep, beep, beep. And again, so I put in like sleepy time, like meditation music. And they quieted down. And I haven't heard a peep since. And it's shut off a couple times. And they're still really quiet. So I think animals are really keen to certain wavelengths and stuff. Yeah, that was pretty cool that they weren't wanting me to come back.
Similar thing happened with me with my iguana. I used to play the like the Tibetan like chanting slash like, I don't know if it's chimes or whatever it is, bells, and my iguana would chill out and like be more like, she was very feral when I got her. She's kind of taming up now. She eats out of my hand. She climbs out. It took like almost 3 years to get her to this point. It's been a process, but I mean, she used to just be terrified and she used to play dead, which is not typical for iguanas, but she was just wild. And then I used to play that music for her and she definitely seemed to chill out and like be like more social and calm. It really does work. The right ones do. Just there's so many out there that I don't necessarily believe are the proper like frequency.
Yes,
and then
pretty interesting.
how do we know what frequency it is depending on the device we're playing it on? Also, like it may have been recorded with that frequency, but whatever apparatus we're playing it on, who's to say what frequency it's actually like outputting?
Yeah, what makes them comfortable or relax or whatever, like you're saying. Didn't you get her from Mexico or somewhere? I thought you went down somewhere and you found her. Was that down in Mexico? I don't know if I'm right or not.
No, I went to Mexico and there was an iguana, but it wasn't her, and kind of inspired me to want an iguana. That iguana was very friendly. I did not take it from Mexico because it belonged to a man. its name was Tequila. And I
Aw.
just decided right then and there, like, why have I never had an iguana? I've had every other animal. And yeah, I've had her for like 3 years now. She's pretty small. It's
Yeah, is
definitely
that
a
the one that
female.
was
They're
in your
like a
band
third the
room?
size of the males. What'd you say? I missed
Was she
that.
the one
Can
that
you
was
repeat?
in your band room?
Yes, same one.
Yeah.
Same one. She's still alive and thriving.
Oh. Yeah, it's unfortunate. This winter looked pretty good until it started to warm up, and then the fox reared its ugly head. For some reason, the chickens didn't want to go into the coops that I bought from Tractor Supply, so they were perched in the tree. You know, branches over here, branches over here. And one by one, they were picked off not only by the raccoon, but mostly by the fox. So out of 12, I had 5 left. Now I bought 6. I have a couple more I want to get because I want to do the 2x2 thing so chickens don't feel left out because I know they know the difference between each other and some of them get picked on more than others. But yeah, it's a weird thing. I also ordered
That's why
like
they call it
200.
the pecking order.
Yeah, I know. I told the kids, I'm like, the pecking order really does exist. Poor Shirley, she had her neck pecked for quite a bit, and I was like, was that molting or pecking? Because it grew back pretty quick. But yeah, I have a big ass box here, almost as tall as me. It comes up to here, and it's got 250 egg crates in there. I also have stamps coming, so since I can't work, I'm going to be selling eggs. So I have 6.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
definitely in the market for some more chickens. Mine got taken off one by one, and then I had a bunch of roosters, and yeah, I definitely want more.
Yeah, I had one rooster.
I
His
want
name was
layers
Bob
though. I
Ross.
don't want to wait.
Yeah. I have some really good layers, but it was quite by accident. Like, I wasn't looking for meat or layers or whatever, but for the most part, they're pretty equal on the same extent. But yeah, I have 5 of the last ones, which were out of 12. One of those 12 was a rooster, Bob Ross. That guy hated my guts. Like, every time I come out there, he'd be like, "Well, I'm just going to act like I'm pecking the ground. I ain't paying no attention to you," until you turn around, then like he'd karate like rooster me. And I hate that because
Wow.
roosters have scared me since I was a kid. But I had to save them one night. Lily woke me up. She's like, "Mom, something's screaming in the backyard. Something bad is happening." And I ran out there, and Bob Ross was back there, and a lot of his feathers were plucked and stuff, and whatever it was ran away. I'm pretty sure it was a fox. So I put him in one of the soups before I built my winter one, and he was just like,